So children, welcome back with one more important topic for your board exam. So today, biology chapter 8, how do organisms reproduce, and it's a part 4. So we all are studying about asexual mode of reproduction. Okay, so today we all are going to study one more unique method of asexual reproduction, which is called a tissue culture. Okay, you all are aware that what is tissue. You all know what is tissue. Okay, so tissue culture, asexual method. Let us study how it how it reproduce new plants. Okay, see children, tissue, as you all know, all living organisms are made of cell, then cell combines, arise with tissue, and then this tissue gives a shape to a body and utilize all function by the tissue in the living organism. So a production of new plant from a small piece of a plant tissue, or you can say cell, removed from the growing tip of a plant, which is growing tip, shoot. Okay, from shoot of a plant, the tissue from which plant we are choosing and taking should be a fresh, and there should be no any disease in that plant, the plant which we are selecting for tissue culture. So let us come again. What is tissue culture? In this, a production of new plant from a small piece of plant tissue, or you can say cell, removed from the growing tips of a plant in a suitable growth medium. Okay, growth medium, which is a solution called a culture solution, means in a suitable medium, growing tip of a plant removed, a piece of tissue is removed, and this is called tissue culture. Simply we can say a piece of a cell or a tissue is removed from a leaf, from a shoot of a plant for production of new plant. Okay, the production of plants by this method of tissue culture is also called micropropagation. Okay, micropropagation, so also known as micropropagation. So you all know what is tissue culture. Tissue culture means we take a small piece of tissue or a cell from a new plant. Okay, and then what happens? Let us come and study with the diagram about the tissue culture. So as I told you, a small piece of plant, here you can see a technique with a suitable instruments. From a leaf, a small piece of cell or tissue is taken out. Okay, a small piece of plant tissue being taken from the growing point, which is the growing point, shoot, from the growing point of a plant. And then what happens? The next, what we do, here you can see, after some time these plant tissues are put into a type of solution, in type of medium, and after some time what we see, these pieces of tissue, pieces of cell, okay, which is put in some solution or medium. Okay, this solution and medium is known as gel. This is called agar gel. What it is known as? Agar gel. So now you can see here these tissues has changed into some spongy pieces. Okay, some spongy zigzag pieces, and these are known as callus. What it is known as? Callus. So we can say plant tissue in medium or in agar gel, which is a medium in a solution in which these plant tissue and cells are kept, okay, for the growth. So then this plant tissue grows in this medium and they form into a different posture or a different rhizine, which is called callus, okay. So here you can see a mass of peas which is converted from the plant tissue in the agar gel and called callus. And in the next, what happened? Then these callus, okay, then what happened? Then these callus change into some other development, and we can see here from this callus a small roots, a thread like structure coming out. So now callus has developed into roots and also into shoots, okay. So and when this callus are kept into the medium, after some time this medium, this agar gel, this solution, okay, in which a dish in which these plants or plant root you can say tissues are kept are changed, means this medium has to change, this solution has to change. Why this solution has to change? Because this solution is made up of nutrients, okay, and now the callus has to develop into roots and shoot. So now more nutrients are required, so this agar gel has to be changed in the interval time for the growth. So after, with that help of agar gel, in the dish in which these plant tissues are kept, they develop into a callus, and then the callus develop into a roots and shoots, okay. Yes, then what we see, after some time in that medium, many plantlets, you can see here, many small plantlets are coming here, you can see many small plantlets are produced. These can be then transplanted into pots or soil. So from a piece of tissue or a cell, a mass of peas, callus has developed, then callus has developed into a root and shoot, and afterward these root and shoot has developed into a small plantlets. Now thousands of plantlets can be grown, can be produced by the parts of a small tissue. Now these plantlets, okay, we cannot grow these plants only in a one pot or a dish. Now these thousands of plantlets which have grown from the by the process of tissue culture can be planted now in the variety of pots or a soil according to variety and nature of plants, okay. Now see here, let's what we have studied, you see here again. The process of tissue culture for producing new plants is as follows, okay. So now we have studied these with pictures, and now we are studying here again. A small piece of plant tissue is taken from the growing tip of the plant or from the tip of a plant and placed in the sterile jelly, okay. The jelly or the medium which is called agar gel is a sterile jelly. What does it do? It contains nutrients and also a plant hormones. So these plant hormone make the cell in the plant tissue, okay. And then what happens? Then forms a shapeless lump of mass called callus. The callus is then transferred to another jelly containing suitable plant hormones, stimulates the callus and develop into a roots, okay. Then what happened? The callus with developed root is then put on another jelly containing different hormone, because now as the plants are growing, as the callus is growing, will change and developing into a roots and shoots, required more nutrients, required more hormones. So the callus that developed root is then put on another dish with some more jelly which containing different hormones, which is more suitable and required for the development of shoots. Okay, now number 4, see number 4, the callus having shoot and roots separate into tiny plantlets, as you have seen in this picture. See, many plantlets are produced. These can be transplanted into now pots and soil. So many tiny plantlets are produced from just a few original plant cells, or you can say tissue. Okay, the plantlets thus produced are transplanted into pots or soil, means where the plant condition is required according to nature of plantlets has to be grown either in the pot or in the soil, where they can grow to form mature plants. Understood? Okay, now what are the advantages? What are the advantages of tissue culture? Let us study about the advantages of tissue culture. See, the tissue culture is very fast technique. Clear? Thousands of plantlets can be grown in few weeks and in a less time and in a small amount of plant tissue. You have seen in the picture, with a small amount of tissue, many quantity of plantlets have been grown, and also new plants are obtained produced by tissue culture are disease free. Obviously, the plant which we are selecting for the tissue culture, obviously that plant will be selected only which will be disease free, fresh and with more of nutrients. Okay, tissue culture can grow, with the tissue culture can grow plants round the year, means there is no any particular season, climate, condition to grow new plants by the process of tissue culture. It can be grow in any season throughout the year and can be grown irrespective in any weather or a season. Clear? The very important is a very little space is needing for developing new plant by tissue culture. Understood? So tissue culture is very easy and very unique process by growing plants with the process of asexual reproduction. So now children, we all have studied about tissue culture. You all have understood. Good topic. Now again I am giving you some more question answers for your fair register. Again let me repeat till now what you have done in your fair register. First, you all have done question answers of text and in text of your first chapter life process. Then I have given you 30 revision questions. Okay, short questions, one word question. They were 30 before your periodic one. All those questions with answers you have to write in your fair register. That was the second work. And the third work which I have given you for the chapter 8, in your previous video I have given you some question. All those notes you have to solve in your fair register, and some more question I am giving you which you have to continue after those previous question which I have given you in previous presentation. So the first question is, what do you mean by vegetative propagation? You have to explain about vegetative propagation and also you have to give examples of vegetative propagation. Then the second question is diagram. You have to draw a diagram. What diagram you have to draw? You have to draw a diagram of plantlets growing in the margin of bryophyllum leaf. Means you have to draw a diagram of bryophyllum leaf showing vegetative propagation in it. Okay, then you have to explain 3 methods of artificial propagation of plants. In this you need not to make diagram. Without diagram you can explain, write definition and explain in your own words about methods of artificial propagation of plants. What are those? Yes, cutting, layering and grafting. So you have to explain these. The question 4 is, what are the advantages of artificial vegetative propagation? This I have explained you in your previous video. Okay children. Now children, your next video, from your next presentation, we will start a topic, sexual reproduction, means the chapter 8 and the another topic which is sexual mode of reproduction. Till now you all have studied about asexual mode of reproduction. Now you will study about sexual mode of reproduction. But before starting that topic, I would like to explain you two question answers, which is in starting of your NCERT in the same chapter, in your chapter 8. So you should understand the meaning of this answer. Then we will continue in the next video, the next topic, sexual mode of reproduction. Okay, let us come to the question. What is the importance of DNA copying in reproduction? Okay, where are DNA present? DNA present in the nucleus. Okay, these are the thread like structure. Okay, deoxyribonucleic acid, full form of DNA. So here it is asked, what is importance of DNA? Now why this question is important before sexual reproduction, before understanding sexual reproduction? Because in sexual reproduction the DNA is transferred from the parents to their progeny, okay, or to their offspring. So what is importance of that? The importance of that is DNA maintain the characteristic of species, means the characteristic with variety from the parents will continue to the species. Also it maintain the continuity of life. Okay, when there will be a sexual reproduction, the life will keep on continuing. From this, the characteristic and the feature of organism are transformed to their progeny automatically. Okay, when DNA will transfer, what is DNA? DNA, what does DNA contain? DNA contain all necessary information, okay, of that particular organism. And when in sexual reproduction, the parents give rise to their progeny, so automatically their characteristic features are transformed with some variety, not with exact copy, exact carbon copy, it transfers to their progeny. Okay, so this is a special importance of DNA copying in the reproduction. The next is also DNA, not only the characteristic, same characteristic transformed, also DNA produce variation in the organism, which is very much important and basis of evolution of new species. Evolution means changes. Okay, how evolution and how changes will come in the progeny? By the when the variation will be shown by the DNA. Understood? So this is an important question for your board exam also. The next question is, why is variation? Now in the previous question you have understood that DNA brings variation with the characteristic from parents to the progeny. But why this variation is beneficial to the species but not necessary for the individual? Means a family, a group of a species, a group of a family is called a species. Why this variation is important? Variation is important because the population of organism, means these organism population which are produced from their parents, when they reproduce, they interact with many type of ecology niches. Ecology survival means they come contact with the climate, with the condition, with the temperature, with the region and many other things with which they have with which they have to survive for their life. So the various population of organisms interact with many type of ecological system. This is important for them to survive in given condition. Why important? If they will not able to survive, then what will happen? They will die, they will disappear. Okay. If there will be individual organism and that individual organism will not able to survive from the changes of the condition and climate of the ecological system, that will die and then population cannot be increased. But when there will be group of organism, a family, okay, so the variety of the characters will come, the variation will come in their characteristic, then this variation will be able to survive, will be able to cope up with the changes in the ecological system. From the family, from the group of organism, those who will not able, they will disappear, they will die, life will finish, their species will finish. But the organism which will be able to survive with that effective, with that changes in the ecological system, they will be able to survive and then their population will increase. That is why variation is beneficial to the species, but there is no any necessary for individual. So the population get adversely affected. The organisms which are able to survive may reproduce to develop population, as I explain you, which is adapted suitable to the varied condition. So those who will be able to cope up, to be able to adapt that suitable condition, will be able to develop with their population, okay, will be able to survive. But those who will not able to cope, one individual cannot be cope up with the changes in the condition, okay, but a family, a group of organism can be cope up. Some of them will not cope up, will disappear, but many of them will be cope up, will give rise to their population and increase in the species, variety of the species. Hence variation is beneficial to species but not an individual. So children, in this topic you all have understood a unique process of asexual reproduction, that is tissue culture, and also you have understood about the meaning of two questions: DNA copying, same characteristic, then DNA is bringing variation. Why variation is important for the group of organism, which is species, but not for individual. Okay, in the next presentation we will start with the new topic: how do organisms reproduce by the sexual methods. So have a nice time, learn and keep on doing your work very nicely in the time. Any day, anytime we can ask for checking. So have a nice time and learn more.